Hello there, and welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. Happy Friday to you. It's the end of the week. Thank you for joining me for another one of my videos. Looking at the mighty Bitcoin, and we're going to dive straight in with the price action analysis. So we're going to work my way up from the low time frames to the slightly higher ones. And you can see that Bitcoin's had a bit of a bounce in the last sort of day or so. And on this 4-hour time frame with the Bollinger Band on, you can see that it looks like it has indeed closed on the last candle, last 4-hour candle. I'll zoom in a bit, above the midpoint of the Bollinger Band. So what does that mean? Well, it means that, and you can see our volatility is also cooling off on the 4-hour. So it means consolidation at worst, and it may mean uh, more upside, because as you know, when you're in a low volatility environment, if then volatility expands, whichever side of the 20 SMA the price is, then that's the direction of the price action. So for now, and it's pretty close, but for now the price is above the midpoint, and on this 4-hour time frame, that midpoint is coming in at 94.5. So it's got to keep going up from here, really. And that's also key for more downside, or certainly further consolidation. So should Bitcoin close 4 hours below 94.5, could well be more consolidation, and you're only likely to see more downside price action below that 92, which is also the support resistance line, going back all the way to really, well, the end of November. For quite some time now, starting to get a bit boring. Hopefully I'm livening it up, or at least painting a picture that makes it as exciting as possible. So yeah, 94.5 is a key area on the 4-hour time frame. For now, though, momentum is clearly still to the downside, but you can see it has turned back up, although it's quite far away from the zero line, and it will turn back down red, and indeed downside momentum with downside posture if Bitcoin starts to close 4-hour timeframes below 93.6. So it's a little way away from that at the moment. That's basically around these this closure and this open. So for now, consolidation, and indeed that will be the case as long as Bitcoin's within these Bollinger Bands here. But you can see the volatility certainly cooled off last 24, 36 hours. Now, from the point of view of this bounce, if you stick a Fibonacci on, you'll see that from this high to this low, Bitcoin is basically bounced to the 382, which, if it were to turn back down from here, that's the signal of a strong trend when a bounce in either direction. So this is a bounce. If it was an upside move, you'd call it a pullback. Uh, when you get continuation with only a retracement to the 382, that's a sign of a strong trend. And clearly, the higher the bounce, or indeed the the bigger the pullback, the higher up these Fibonacci levels it goes, and that's a signal of not such a strong trend. So yeah, the 0.5 is coming in around the top of the Bollinger Band at the moment. So that would look really good, because if Bitcoin did achieve that in the first case, around that 97 mark, and indeed if it went higher, that would be volatility expansion to the upside. So that would look good for certainly further days to weeks within this whole range, which I'll show you on the higher timeframes. Unlikely then, if that were to be the case, Bitcoin would have defended this 91-ish, 92,000 mark another time, which I think is number 6. All right, that'll do for the 4-hour. If I just get rid of the Fibonacci now, because it's just confusing the picture. So you can see when it comes to support resistance levels, this one has been tested several times. It was kind of tested to the upside here. So if I draw just a straight line on for you, you can see that it was resistance here. It was then support for the first time, support for the second time, for the third time, for the fourth time, and currently for the fifth time. Now, it's only going to hold for so long. That's all I'm going to say. But it looks like it's going to hold for one more time. With regards to the Bollinger Band on this daily time frame, you can see that Bitcoin needs to close a daily, and there's 3.5 hours left on this daily time frame, above 96 to get back into the top half of the Bollinger Band, which again will be, it's no great shakes, but it just means no further breakdown and more consolidation. Within this low volatility environment that Bitcoin's really been living in, even on this daily time frame since the end of November. So, that's a good month, coming up for a month and a half now. Excuse me. I've made parallels between this last time period and indeed this one. And this one, as you can see, went on for, I think, a bit longer than Bitcoin. So the breakout for this one was here. So that was 67 days. And how long has Bitcoin done in this current one? Well, let's have a look. It's where should we say the range was set in? Let's say the range was set in there. So we're currently at 50 days. And let's just call it 65 days. Would take Bitcoin to the last week of January. So will that be the week that Bitcoin decides to break out of this range and then do another 50% move to the upside? I certainly hope so. I think if it did, if Bitcoin got to 150K, say by the sort of February, March time, I'd be thinking quite strongly about that being the end of the bull run. But that's probably a story for another day, and there's a lot of presumptions involved in that, which are in the future and therefore unknowns. So there you go. So for now, looks like Bitcoin has bounced off that support resistance level again. But in my eyes, it needs to close the daily back above 96 to be clear, if you like, of this area on the daily time frame. You can see momentum is just kind of flip-flopping around the zero line at the moment, but it is technically below it for now, and will remain with downside posture again as long as Bitcoin's below that 96,000 mark. So that's clearly, whoops, a daisy. That's clearly a significant level for Bitcoin, both on a momentum point of view and a Bollinger Band, i.e. volatility point of view. So yeah, 96 on the daily, very important level for Bitcoin. Now, because it's Friday, that means it's coming towards the end of the week for CME. So if I switch over to CME, you can just see that it's a pretty uneventful week on CME. But unless in the next hour and a half, Bitcoin drops its price to 93, it won't be a bearish engulfing of the previous week. So what does that mean to me? That just means sideways price action. That's all it means. The other significant thing is with the closure of this week and the opening of next week, which will be on Sunday evening, the midpoint of the Bollinger Band is going to get significantly closer to the price action. And it did exactly that on this sort of move that I was relating this price action to, this consolidation to, is here. And you can see that's exactly what happened. It basically went sideways. Midpoint of the Bollinger Band pretty much caught up with the price, but the price didn't close below it. And then that was continuation to the upside. So yeah, Maybe something like that will happen over the next couple of weeks, which will take us towards the end of January, and that would all kind of play nicely into another upside move for Bitcoin towards the end of January. That's what I'm thinking. That may be completely wrong. That's what I'm thinking. Seems the most likely at the moment. Weekly momentum still very much to the upside. Okay, there we are. That's the price action analysis done. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye bye.